What is good, YouTube? As per request, I'm bringing you my vengeance talents. I'm thinking about doing a quick BG talent talk quotes for pretty much all the classes I play and just kind of talk about the talents I do. For the people that are just looking to see my talents and don't want to hear anything, I'll show you both trees. So if you're just here to see what I'm doing and chirp me, that's what I'm running with. If you're looking for a little bit more of an in-depth overview, here's what I'm thinking for BGs. First tier here, you have two picks. Your first pick is probably for more flag games or games you want to travel fast on, maybe like Deepwing Gorge, anywhere you want to be really mobile. And to be honest, I don't play this class unless it's on a mobile map, so this is pretty much the only one I really run with. But I am going to note the other one that I did kind of notice and think was really good for maybe like Temple Mogu or defending if you're not going to be as mobile. So Abyssal Strike, but the thing is, like, this gives you longer range on your leap, right? So with this, you can leap hugely far. Other than that, it's like, I don't know. Let's see. It's not as far. Basically, it's really hard to hit somebody with a combination of ping, lag, bad aim, having to click and then click your spell if you're not using the macro to just basically jump right away. Like a combination of things can make it basically miss. So to run in PvP, to run Abyssal Strike, I find you really need to run Reign of Chaos, which increases, it basically doubles its impact radius. So you got a really large area to which you can hit them and slow them down. Now, if you like running on your own, or if you like being more tanky, both of these options here are really good. Personally, I always run on flag maps for vengeance. Other than that, I main Havoc, so if you main vengeance, these are very good picks if you're not going to be running flags. Now, if you're not picking Abyssal Strike because you're not running flags, and you're picking one of the other two talents, Sigil or Solitude, you could pretty much want to pick Razor Spikes. This one you pretty much never want to pick in PvP, or you're never going to be slowing anybody. And that is not good times at all. It's absolutely terrible. This one, pretty much everything you do slows people, because you can keep Demon Spikes up pretty much all the time. So yeah, it's super nice. You turn on Demon Spikes, leap on a guy, and they're already slowed. Your Soul Cleave is an AoE move, so every time it hits everybody around them, they're just repeatedly slowed. It's a good time. Alright, second tier. I like this for something that you don't have to like worry about. It's just extra healing. This is pretty good. If you're going to be doing a lot of group fights, you can get a lot of soul shards really quick to keep you up. This is usually my go-to because I find that a lot of your killable power lines up with whether they have Fiery Brand on them or not, because once you get your weapon leveled up, Fiery Brand also increases fire damage you deal to the target by 40%. So it's only 30% for me, obviously, because I have one of these and these don't count in PvP, but you can still level it up one more point to 40%. So yeah, that's like your burst move for PvP. You pretty much drop your Fiery Brand and then drop all your other fire moves, right? So if you have it spreading to more people every couple seconds, that's really good, because if one guy dies, it's still on the second guy, and I'm pretty sure it still spreads off of him. Don't quote me on that though. It might only spread off the original guy. Now for the third row. Fellblade almost, yeah, it looks good. I don't know. This is like personal preference row for me. Fell Eruption does really good to get killing blows for Havoc, so I'm guessing it'll do the same for Vengeance, though it does hit for like 700k on Havoc and only 250 on this. I haven't really ever ran it, because I'm always running, and I don't know, I like more fire damage because more fire damage keeps you alive longer because of one of your talents that you have here, heals you for fire damage you deal, or one of your artifact trait perks, whatever you want to call them. So I usually just go for more fire damage, but this one's pretty much up to you, right? Like if you want this, that's pretty good mobility. I use it pretty much hands down all the time on Havoc. If you want this, it's not a bad stun. You pretty much don't have a stun, so it's nice to actually have one. That might make Agonizing Flames workable if you have a way to stop them, even if you don't have a way to slow them down. But I just pick Flame Crash because, well, like it puts a flame circle on there, and you can drop a flame circle, but you can also do 2 at once if you're using the macros. So if I really want a lot of fire damage, basically I'll drop a leap and a flame circle at the same time, and without this I can't double up on the flame circles. That's the reason I pick it for PvP, but I'm thinking anything in this row is viable. Alright, Fracture. Firstly, we'll start with Fracture. I think Fracture is probably your best option because it does the most single target damage, and outside of having Fiery Brand, it actually feels like you have damage against somebody 1v1 and can kill them over a period of time. I haven't tried much without Fracture. Soul Rending is extremely good if you're not worried about killing somebody and you're just worried about staying alive, as one of your artifact weapon trait perk dealies makes you turn into a demon every now and then, 5 seconds when you consume one of the many soul shards that you're making with a few of your different moves. So this is really good long term in PvP. Now it did get a huge nerf. It used to be 100%, I do believe, or 70% at least. So I haven't tried it much since it went down to 50, but still, same thing applies. Like, if you're turning into a demon every 5 seconds now and then, and you're just getting hammed, that means you don't have to use your normal demon, like your normal metamorphosis cooldown. You can save it for when you need it, you know? It helps keep your long-term heals up. Alright, it helps get you more out of that fiery heal too. Just another, like, little side thing. Now this one, I don't like, I like it for PvE, I like it for dungeons, but I don't really do dungeons all that much, so I couldn't say if it's the go-to for there or not. I just personally like having demon spikes all the time. But for PvP, almost always Fracture. Usually it takes this spot on my bar. Even on play carry games, I'm usually going Fracture over Soul Rending, but for the Brawl that we had 3 flags and I knew I wasn't even going to stop to like try and DPS somebody, I was just going to keep on running. I just picked Soul Rending 100% that one. So as you can see, I just switched back to it to discuss this. Sigil Change, hands down, is what I pick 100% of the time just because I like an AoE grip. That's simply it. I don't think it's the best one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I just don't think it's the best one. Quicken Sigils with Sigil Mastery is probably pretty damn good. And every time I look at it, I want to give it a try. All these, like, that's not bad. Having like concentrated sigils isn't bad. You can like get your sigils off faster, but I feel like maybe this comes from like playing a hunter for, I don't know, I played one from 1 to 100 twice, I guess. Well, 1 to 100 and 1 to 70. How about that? And when I think I played another one to 50. But anyway, like, you can get used to the 2-second timing. Hunters have been doing that for years, man. Like, you don't need quicker. Like, this brings you a whole new move to which you can combine with other people's moves. If you see a Ring of Frost, you can drop this there. If you see a bunch of guys chasing a flag carrier, you can drop this. And you can combo with your Fear Sigils so nicely and just get a nice group fear. You don't even need to combo with other people's. Like, it's really good. You can drop it at the edge of the side of a ledge and rip people off the edge, like lumber mill. Like, it's got some greasy tactics there. Long ass cooldown. Biggest problem. I think it should probably be a minute at least. So at least it meets up with the other ones, you know? But here we are, and I mean, DK's got it worse with their AoE grip. I think it's like you have to spec something just to get it down to a minute and a half, so be thankful. But yeah, that's my opinion on Sigil Chains. It's just one of those moves that adds a little spice. So I like it because if you see a Frost Mage drop in a ring, you know, Sigil Chains. Alright, 108 tier. I know this is taking years. 108 tier. Fell Rush. Fell Devastation's probably your best pick, hands down. I don't like picking talents that I don't feel like I have control over. This just is a straight up buff. So, like, I mean, it's probably the best. This is really good to have as a move that brings you back as another cooldown, if you will. And it does damage, and you can get killing blows with it. So it's pretty dang good in that aspect too. For 1v1s, this is clutch. For Dragon Ball Z fans, you know you gotta pick Spirit Bomb. Spirit Bomb isn't great, I'm gonna be honest with you. It's not terrible either. In big group fights, one Spirit Bomb spreads to everybody in an AoE area, and you basically, all damage you deal to people in an AoE area that are affected by the Spirit Bomb, you heal 20% of the damage you do to them. So if you're getting group ganked, like in a Rathi Basin trying to guard a flag, or if a bunch of people are on you as a flag carrier, you drop a Spirit Bomb, then you drop your Fiery Brand, and then you drop your Immolation Aura, and that's a lot of fire damage right there. On top of that, Spirit Bomb itself is fire damage, and you can use a Spirit Bomb for every soul shard you got. So if you're using Fracture, you can use Fracture to dummy a guy down. It generates a few soul fragments to which you can drop more Spirit Bombs if you got Fiery Brand still up on. It's probably not better than Fell Devastation with Fiery Brand up for one target, but for group survival purposes, Spirit Bomb is pretty dang good in BGs, and it's just something extra to do. That's the only reason I use it. I've got a few Spirit Bomb kills when I had Fiery Brand up. Somebody had like maybe 20-25% health. I couldn't get in range of them. There's like 3 or 4 crystals around. I just dropped a few Spirit Bombs and it actually killed them. So it's not completely useless damage, especially if you have Fiery Brand up on a target. Last resort. For the 110 tier is what I have picked since I went 110 and was a tank. Basically, I picked this to try it out. It, like the very first play game I got, I was killed and it kept me alive, and then I went to cap it and we won, and I was like, I can never change this now, just because of like the situation that might arise where you do die and they need you because you are a tank, so you probably playing some pivotal role like carrying the flag or defending a node. You know, they need you to survive for a little bit longer. Last resort is always there, and it's usually like a one time in a match, unless it's like AV, then it's like every 5 minutes. But like, at least for that one time, you last a little bit longer, and maybe you get back up, or maybe you keep the node until people respawn. It's just, I don't know, it feels like every time it does work, it works real well. Now, that being said, the other two don't look bad at all. Soul Barrier looks fucking awesome, and I was thinking about changing to it just because it's a 30-second cooldown. More survival? Like, 1k absorption? That's huge. Fragments add to it? Like, that's pretty good. I don't feel like I run out of demon spikes in BGs because there's so many breaks in between skirmishes. I usually have enough time to get 2 full charges back before like rushing into the next mob fight or getting jumped again. I feel like Last Resort would bring more, but if you've used Demonic Infusion and you swear by it, let me know in the comments. You know, I'd like to hear your opinion. Like, the Generation of Pain doesn't seem bad at all. Like, if you're about to die, you could essentially bring yourself back and get a bunch of damage out. Get a soul cleave off. Like, it looks good, but last resort, I mean, you could nerf that to 20 minutes, and I'd probably still pick it because of the Q times in between BGs anyway. You know what I'm saying, though. Now then, let's get into the second one. I almost always pick Gladiator's Medallion. Now, there was one argument I seen from a YouTuber named Screwface that combined the Orc Racial of reduced stuns with Relentless for extra reduced stuns. I would also argue if you're a human and you have a stun trinket, especially a human paladin or a human ret paladin with the Unbreakable perk, which trinkets you automatically, you probably got a little bit of leeway. But for the most part, not having a trinket can be really painful. Second tier, Tormentor is fucking awesome in BGs. If you put it on the right person, like a healer in a group fight and everybody's actually targeting the healer, if your team is on the ball, it's awesome. It works good if you're rolling with somebody, but it works especially good if your team knows how to focus healers, because you drop it on the healer and they just drop so fast, it's unreal. This is good otherwise. Like, if you don't want an extra move, if you're running solo and you don't want to be around people, if you have to guard a node by yourself in RBGs, like that's a lot of damage for 1v1, so that's not bad at all. And soften blows, I mean, I'm not, this doesn't really get my dick hard. That's pretty much all there is to it. Comparatively though, like if I'm getting attacked, I do more damage. Stacking up to 5 times, that's up to 15% extra damage. That's huge. And I can pretty much do up to 25% extra damage to somebody if there's a bunch of people jumping on them. So like a healer, if there's a bunch of people bursting hard on them, that's 25% more damage they're doing. That's huge. It's crazy. It's madness. Alright, I believe we already covered why I pick Reign of Chaos. Pretty much because I always pick Abyssal Strike, I pick Reign of Chaos on this row. If I wasn't, I would seriously consider Solitude, because Solitude puts in a lot of work if you maintain that 15-yard radius. That's a lot of damage added up over the period of 1 BG. I'm telling you, I could put you at the top of the damage meter just with your Sigils fire damage, Immolation, or Fiery Brands. Like, it puts in work. But if you're in a lot of group fights, this turns off, because there's melees that are right beside you, and they don't give a fuck what kind of damage buff you're getting from being a little bit further away from people. And Sigil Masteries, again, looks really nice with Quicken Sigils. Other than that, I told you why I pick Reign of Chaos, so you do what you gotta do if you're a full-time Vengeance. That's my opinion. It does look nice. Reverse Magic. Always pick this move. If you don't pick it, don't pick it. That's fine. If you think there's another move that's better, that's fine. The reason I always pick this move is because it is a 1-minute trinket versus half the classes in the game. Every time I'm frozen by Frost Nova or extremely dotted up by a lock and about to go down because I got multiple dot stacks on me, like, Reverse Magic puts in work on a 1-minute cooldown. Save your trinket for a stun, you know? Like, use their damage against them on 1-minute cooldown. That's huge. And it hits everybody around you in 10 yards. So if you get like group rooted, or like mass root or something that's like some shenanigans, you just drop Reverse Magic and you're good to go. It's huge. It's huge. I mean, they gotta be pretty close to you, but it's pretty good. I'm not gonna try what that says. This is really good versus casters. It's a buff you put on them. Really good casters will watch it. I don't feel like it does enough damage to warrant taking it over Reverse Magic. Reverse Magic is huge, especially as a tank for trinket purposes alone. Like, I haven't tried it much. It could be decent damage, to be honest, especially if you want to get killing blows against casters and healers. That's not bad. Reverse magic though, trinket purposes and flag carries, that's why I go unending hatred. This is pretty good if you're leveling up your PvP talents. That's pretty much it. Other than that, I go reverse magic. It's extra pain. Extra pain is more soul cleaves. Like, that's more healing. So it's good, but do you really need it? Or do you really need it? A move that will save your trinket so you can use it on something else, like a stun on a warrior. Frost trap if you're about to capture the flag. Now you got your trinket saved, because you know what? You didn't trinket that Frost Nova. You used reverse magic, and you got right out of it, because you could still be rooted while you're using demonic trample, but you can't be slowed. But that Frost mage knew it, so he rooted you. So as soon as demonic trample ran off, you used reverse magic to get out of that root, leaped away twice, and now you're home free, right? But then you get frost trapped right before the flag, because the hunter's on the ball with his frost trap, just waiting for you. Now you got your trinket still though, and you can trinket and cap. Boom! Good game, good game. Now that we're back in the downs. Alright, Everlasting Hunt, because I always go Vengeance for flag carries, and frankly, you just like throw glaive somebody and you get extra 15% movement speed. That's not bad at all. If somebody's on you, it helps you get away from them. Like, it's good. It's good. If you're running through people on your demonic trample, because you can pick that because you're trying to carry flags because you're me, then that does damage to people as you're running through them, which also increases your speed. So yeah. Woo-hoo. But if you're maining Vengeance and want more viable picks to actually stand up to people, the Jagged Spikes is pretty damn good. It actually increases damage you do, physical damage, so not fire damage. So it's like a way to make your other moves do good damage. When your Fiery Brand is down, you can drop up your Demon Spikes, and pretty much you get more out of like your Throw Glaive and your Soul Cleave, and that overall is probably going to take a 1v1 fight. This is pretty good looking, I'm not gonna lie. Just because like a lot of stuff that reverse magic can get you out of, this could get you out of too. So you could have 2 dispels for everything. I do go for the run speed personally, but these both look very good as well for BG purposes. Now, Demonic Trample, hands down, Illidan's Grasp looks so fucking good. It looks so good, it's not even right. But Demonic Trample is so funny, and the fact that it's 30 seconds is huge. You could die even in non-flag carrier maps, like say a Wrathy Basin, and get across the map in like a matter of seconds just using Demonic Trample, and then like you Fell Leap twice, then Demonic Trample. By the time this ends, you probably got your Fell Leap back up, so you Fell Leap again. It's crazy. It's crazy. Detainment, I would never do this. Ever. Like, I've never considered it because it triggers me so much on Havoc. Havoc, one of the best ways you can slow people down is to use your Imprison sap the same way a monk can sap people. You sap them, run up to them, because your slow is melee speed until you take your Throw Glaive talent at 108. So before then, your best way to slow people down is to sap them, run up to them, and then vengeful retreat while they're still sapped. If you pick Detainment, it makes it like Cyclone, where they're immune. Nothing breaks the sap. They are immune to everything that can be done to them. If you don't pick Detainment, they are not immune, and it just holds them. It removes all dots, so that really sucks if you use Bloodlet and you pop both of your Throw Glaives before you sap them. Always try to sap before you Throw Glaive if you're running Bloodlet. But you can sap a guy to get close enough to stun him with your move that you don't have because you're Vengeance. Chaos Nova, I believe is what it's called. Like, you can just get close to do so many things. On Vengeance in particular, you can sap into your sigils, which doesn't really matter for Fiery, but you can sap into a Fear. If you pick this, you cannot. I feel like this hinders you more than it doesn't. And I'm thinking the Blizzard gods for the changes to sap to make it the way it is now, so it literally is mirror of the monk sap. I think it's what they needed to make their throw blade slow option not need to be picked. It's like another slightly more skillful, viable way to slow people down, and they really needed it because monks have to do the same kind of thing. If they got the serpent kick, it gets them out of it a little bit, but for the most part, outside your serpent kick, you gotta like sap a guy to get close to disable him. That's the way it goes. It's a little bit more skillful. I think the Demon Hunter needed that, is what I'm saying. And this talent completely destroys that. I don't know why it's in the game. Maybe like 3s, if you're not running with a druid that has Cyclone, and you need another like CC option, but in 3s you're probably not picking Vengeance because Havoc will do more, but for the sake of discovering reason why this exists, I would say 3s on Havoc. If you're not running with a druid, this is like a Cyclone replacement. Other than that, never use this in BGs. If you use this and other people waste their CCs trying to CC the guy that you have sap, and then realizing that you're the guy that picked Attainment, like so many guys I've seen CC a guy and then I've tried to run close and be like, yeah, thanks bro, and then try to vengeful retreat on him, and then it's just, he's immune. I'm just like, god damn it, man, why would you do this to me? Why would you do this to me? Don't. If you got to use for detainment, let me know in the comments. Other than like arenas and an alternative to Cyclone, I don't know why people would pick this. It hinders most people more than it helps them, especially in BGs. Illidan's Grasp looks really good. Like, it just does. I don't know how else to say it. It looks damn good. It's a group stun, so what can you say to that? It does damage, only a minute cooldown. You're gonna have this almost every engagement. Demonic Trample is so strong though, being 30 seconds, that it's hard to pick anything outside of this. And if there's a Blizzard developer that ever watches this and hears that and thinks, oh shit, we need to straight up nerf Demonic Trample's cooldown time and make it like 45 seconds or a minute, don't do that, man. Don't do that. What you want to do is switch up where Demonic Trample is in the tree list, right? Do that. Keep Demonic Trample. It's not great. And really, it's probably the worst pick on any row for anything outside of a flag carry game. But it's extremely fun for a flag carry game. And it brings a lot of, I think, people wanting to do this class just for the fun of it. That I don't want to see go away because this move gets nerfed. What I would like to see is it move. Or Illidan's Grasp move. So at least I can try a stun. Maybe put this with another move that like offers the stun. Like take Fellow Russian out of here or something like that and put it into here, and put that in like that on the same row, but make one of them way better or something. Or maybe, I don't know, like I guess having a stun and that would probably be bad, so leave those on the same row, but probably just get rid of that too. I don't know, that's my, always pick Demonic Trample anyway. I'm getting off on a tangent. Let's wrap this up. You turn into a demon, no one can slow you down. There's a few moves in the game that still can. I'm pretty sure hunters have something that allows them to slow people even if they're not slowable. So it's absolutely horrid. It gets you every time. Not every time, like 1 in 5 hunters have it. Other than that, it all works out pretty well. And just try not to get frozen. Or try to use this after the freeze wears off. So wait until they frost nova you. Use your reverse magic if you still got it. If you don't, wait out the like 2-second freeze, and then as soon as it wears off, the second it wears off, use your Demonic Trample and hope they don't pet freeze you on the spot. Hopefully they'll miss. Yeah, that's what I got for the first talent chat. If you thought this was a good idea, I'm thinking about doing it for pretty much every class I run. Probably on separate videos, obviously. I did get a guy that wanted me to discuss the changes of 7.2.5 and what they brought to the Vengeance Demon Hunter for BGs. I think I'm going to do a giant rantish video where I just read all the talents for all the classes I play and discuss what I think on them, and I'll probably try to drop annotations at the bottom. That sounds like a big project list, so we'll see where I go. 7.2.5 is coming June 20th apparently, so prepare yourselves, I guess. This is how I'm feeling with the Vengeance talents so far, and I look forward to checking out what changes they are bringing, as long as it's not a nerfed Demonic Trample. Have a good one, guys. and good luck in the PGs.
Don't forget to subscribe if you'd like to see more wacky content, and drop a like if I'm on the right track and you're having a good time. Anyways, have a good one guys, and Godspeed.